Hello. This video is about the equation of self and money. You might say that it's very two different things. Self, that is the most important part of the human being, and money, that is a part of economics. But I try to prove you that we are using money because we are buying and selling parts of ourselves to other people and to companies that have also their own specific self. First of all, let's speak some words about what do I mean by self. In the book Self-Expansion, the whole book is about what do I mean by self. As you go, you might got used to all my viewpoint, and all the concept is based on system theory. So self is the human being's system theory model that handles information as inputs and produces outputs as results of its behavior. And this self contains everything what a person has: knowledge, material things like a car, a phone, memories, personality traits, everything. The self is the model of a human being. How can something contain such many different things? Okay, you might say knowledge is a representation of the environment, so it's a kind of information, and as information can fit into this system that is built by transformer subsystems. There are many videos of mine about this, so I don't want to get into the details. Knowledge, it's in my viewpoint, it's not information as such, it's a transformation. So when you learn how to add two numbers, then that knowledge is not a static information. It is a transformation that produces from two inputs an output, and this transformation is adding. Okay, so let's say that as knowledge, it's a transformation that can fit into my concept of self. But material things like a car can fit into this concept. My answer is yes, because usually it's not the car itself as the part of environment is what is ours. Only the feeling of having a car is what we got. Just compare if this car is stolen from the backyard of your house, and you are sitting in your living room, then you still own the car, even if that car is belonging to the thief. So there is owning something is a merely subjective notion. You cannot own an object. You can have this object mental representation inside your mind with very very details. What type of tire you have, how does it feel when you touch the steering wheel, how far you can see due to your extra good LED lamps, and so on. So all this information about your car can be yours, and when I mean it's yours, it means that are connected within your mind, because as long as these connections are broken, you forgot that you have a car. So what you have is the connections between other subsystems of your mind. That's what we call cognitive schemata, and the schemata of a car that you think that belongs to you, because yes, you remember that you were paying for it to a car dealer, so you remember the whole history of your car, and that's why you think that you have a car. And you have a sale agreement, a document that proves that you have a car, that you have a cognitive schema, a model of this sales agreement in your mind, that you bought the car. And this sales agreement is it's a object in the environment that creates in somebody else, in person B's mind, the same cognitive schema, not the same but a very similar cognitive schema what you have, meaning that person B and all other persons will accept, based on this sales agreement, that yes, you have bought the car, you paid for it, so this car is yours. If we continue this list, we get to the memories, and we already touched the topic that the process of selling and buying a car was a memory, that it's also written in a document, and this memory is also in yourself, represented in a model that can transform information, because when you see the car shop where you bought your car, that's an information that goes through your memories, and it reminds you on this paper that yes, you bought the car, and reminds you as outputs your car and this document. So there is a kind of huge transformator, a huge bridge. I always try to draw bridges, and sometimes it works, sometimes it's not. So it's a huge bridge between environment and between our self, and that's the modeling. That's the representation of environmental objects into ourself, and whatever these objects are, and that's why I'm saying that this is a huge transformation, that we are able to model different objects, persons, groups, companies, countries, places, all we are transforming them by modeling into ourselves, into the same system, where we can connect these information or these transformation to each other, and we can perform outputs that helps ourselves to adapt to this environment that is subjective and independent from ourselves. So let's take an example: different culture and different behavior. All these are represented saying hello, and a culture that it's a foreign culture. If we are connecting these two things, immediately we can behave or increase the probability of staying alive in a hostile environment, for example, by saying hello in a different language, in a culture where we are, and maybe enemy soldiers will behave some nicer, and the chance to survive has increased. So saying hello in our culture is one thing. Saying knowledge about a different culture where we have traveled and we were kidnapped, just to be a little bit more fantastic. Then these two things are connected in your mind because we were able to bring them to the same common base, the behavior and the culture, and in this base, what is not else than our neurons in our mind, we were able to connect them also on a neural level. And when inputs come, these transformations are added, are integrated, and performs an output that might help in our behavior. And now comes maybe the most exciting topic, and that's money. What is the situation with money in all this matter? You might already know my answer. Money is also a representation in this system. It's also transformed in our magic, by our magic bridge, into mental representation, into a model that represents the environment, and is helping the exchange between these cognitive schemas. We can break the link that connects ourselves to our car, meaning that we sold our car, and in exchange we receive a representation of receiving money. That means that our bank account has increased, and by breaking this link we have established a new link, and this is money, like this. Hopefully you can see something. When describing in a more general concept the whole theory of mine about living creatures, I introduced a more general concept than the self-size. Self-size is a new concept that you can read in details about in the book Self-Expansion. Self in the psychology is a good concept, is a static concept. You have a self and that's it. You have superego that fights or controls yourself, and you have your instinct that are attacking yourself, and so on. The novelty of my approach is that I have stated that self can be seen as a dynamic thing that has a size that varies over time. The book's name, it comes from the fact that this self can increase and can get smaller depending on our relationship to our environment. So this is self, this is the environment, and self-size is nothing else than the adaptivity, the ability to adapt to this environment. Whenever the environment is frightening us that we will be killed or we will die, meaning that we don't have adaptive solutions on the environment's problems, then our self is getting smaller. As we can control, embed environment or environment's representation in ourself by finding a solution on a specific situation, our self has increased, and that's called self-expansion, self-narrowing in the book. The more general term for this, for the self's size, is the indicator. Indicator is a very general measurement, and it shows how adaptive a system is. And all the systems are surrounded by other systems. That's what classical system theory calls as environment. And all the systems have an actual adaptivity rate by it's the chance, the probability that this system will be falling into parts, meaning it will die, or it will take control over other systems that are threatening him or her. And my statement is that the indicator's size is very strongly connected to money, to this. So these two are connected. You can always sell your indicator or your self's size for money, and you can always buy pieces of self. So you can increase it piece by piece. That's what ladies do when shopping. A lady that is beautiful also without or before shopping has a self. Maybe she is not happy with her self size, meaning that she is sad. Goes shopping, spends money, buys clothes, very, very pretty clothes, and in that moment that she has paid the money, she has not only a representation of these clothes in her head, but also starts this representation to connect to different other schemas, to the next party that she will wearing these clothes, the expression of her friends when they see her in these new clothes, and if she is happy with this clothes quality, and she can imagine herself in nicely with these clothes, she has increased her self size, because now on she might have bigger effect, or she can influence other men or other colleagues because she's more pretty, more beautiful, more elegant. What she did, she was buying self for herself. She bought a cognitive schema of the clothes what she owns in reality, in objective life. We have seen her how this goes with the car and the sales contract. So she's not owning it even if she's wearing it, but okay, in her mind these two are strongly connected. Just imagine when she spoils something on her clothes, the clothes become useless, so you can really see that these clothes were not really part of her, just there were a connection in her mind here somewhere. So you can buy not only objects but memories. That's why you go and travel and you take a lot of photos. What photos go in a storage that is very close to your mind, and enters the photo into your mind whenever you take your pictures and you show them to others, or you are just viewing them. And you can and it's the same when you go and watch a movie. And of course you can buy also knowledge. It is somehow strange that you are paying serious amount of money to universities and in education, and you get nothing in exchange. Nothing, I mean, in objects. You get something that you have to work a lot of to be really yours, and you pay serious amount for it. It is because this is your mind, and somebody is offering you in exchange of money a cognitive schema that will enter, if you are watching carefully the presentations at the university or the lectures. And then you go home and you are connecting these schema to other schema of yours by doing your homework or just reading your textbooks and so on. And then by this little circle that is representing a transformation, an ability to perform something, yourself became bigger, because from now on you can perform more tasks, so you are more successful in your environment, so you are more adaptive, so your indicator has increased, and meanwhile yourself has expanded and you became happier. I hope you see the beauty of this idea, that we were able to connect happiness and money through knowledge, through acquiring knowledge, through studying, and we were not only able to connect knowledge, but also objects, memories, and everything that is material, so all the environment. A last test is to be done, and if I'm true that by money you can buy parts of yourself, then it has to be true also the opposite direction, that you can sell parts of yourself for money. I won't surprise you if I will call this very strange process of selling your parts of yourself for money. It is called work. The simplest what it's obvious from previous presentation is that of the teacher or the professor at the university. It is him or her who has presented this schema that you were then able to put in your mind and then to connect them. And here you see a genius issue, that mental models can be replicated very, very cheaply. I wouldn't say for zero. It's not like we used to say you can spread love for nothing, or that love is for free, because you have to eat, to invest some resources, to go to the university, to market yourself as an excellent teacher, to get a license to teach, and so on. But if all these are ready, then it's more or less limitless or unlimited how many people can get the same schema. And that's how the movie industry works. This is a film. Movie industry works that they have produced one schema of a film, Star Wars for example, and as long as people want, they can watch this film as many as they are, until of course the physical parts or physically the film itself wasn't destroyed. But here was an investment, and then comes money as a reward. Back to the producer. And that's why money is such a genius discovery, because people here who are watching Star Wars cannot make themselves the movie itself. It would be very expensive, so they are giving money to receive increase in their self, to reach self-expansion, what is equal with happiness. And those who have produced the film receive money, and using this money they can buy different other objects that are expanding their self, so makes them happy. And that was one more theoretical solution of selling yourself. But as we all know, there are people who are selling their workforce or their physical abilities in order to get money. And that's when you take stress or discomfort in order to get money. During getting discomfort, you become less and less adaptive, meaning, for example, that you are tired. So yourself is decreasing. For example, when you are working on a construction site, or you are working as a waiter, or all the physical workers do the same, and in exchange you are producing something, and in exchange you get money. You might produce this movie also. An actor who is performing and working as an actor, it's also a tiring act. So during his or her performance, his adaptivity has decreased. Of course, the optimal is when during your job you are able to solve such problems that increase your adaptivity. And that's why some people look jealous on those on white collars because they are not only getting distress and getting their self smaller, but meanwhile, as they get more experienced and they are acquiring knowledge from others or from their trial error processes, their self is even increasing. The most we look most envious on the artists, on performers, that during they produce new things. They are writing books or they are painting. They increase their own self because they create something that makes them more precious, more adaptive. And meanwhile, they are making money by selling these products. Of course, in the process of sale, they are building a wall between their product that they have created and their self. So they have to break a link. So Picasso, when painted an excellent painting, until it was him or her, Picasso was a man, he didn't have money, but he had a painting. When he sold the painting, this link of being his has broken. The painting has increased somebody else, person B's self, and Picasso became richer with the price of the painting. But we still admire Picasso of those, also for those paintings that are belonging objectively to other people, because his signature is there, and European culture is accepting that an artist will always be, in a way, the possessor of a painting, at least subjectively. So thank you for having the patience for a 1.5 times longer speech as usual, but I think this video is one of the most exciting and most interesting from the series that I have produced, because connects two two things that are very far in our mind, and makes understand the whole economy better, and the motives of why we are working, why we are buying. I hope that you can use it also in your private life, and I wish you happy holidays. We are close to Christmas, so I wish you the best. Thank you.